Hi, my name is Stephanie Stewart, and I would like to talk to you today about car seat safety. More specifically, car seat safety with infants and really young children. As a mom, I feel a little bit privileged to talk about this because safety is very important to me, and I'd like to share a few facts with you. According to Parenting Magazine, a study in 2007 found that children are 75% less likely to die or be severely injured in a car crash if the child is rear-facing. So let's talk about that, rear-facing versus forward-facing. Did you know that Georgia law says that a child can forward-face at 20 pounds and 1 year old? So let that sink in for a second and think. Now, another study from Injury Prevention found that children are 5 times safer when they're rear-facing. So a child can rear-face until they are 40 pounds. That's what car seats now let them rear-face up to. But the law is a minimum. And then Dr. Durbin with the American Academy of Pediatrics said that a rear-facing child's safety seat does a better job of supporting the head, neck, and spine of infants or toddlers in a crash because it distributes the force of the crash equally over the body. Okay. So when you talk about Georgia law, it says that in an infant seat, which are the little newborn carriers you see that mom's carrying around in the grocery store and sitting in the buggy, a newborn to 1 year old has to be rear-facing, and they have to be 20 pounds. If a child's less than a year old, they have to rear-face no matter what, up to 35 pounds. But a child 1 to 3 years old can forward-face as long as they're 20 pounds. The problem I have with that, and why I want Georgia law to change, is that just because a child's 20 pounds doesn't mean you should just face them forward. People look at that as a milestone. And when you're talking about your child walking and crawling, it's exciting. Milestones are great. You want your child to excel. But when you're talking about child safety, do you want to just jump to the next thing when it's not as safe for your child? No, you don't. Okay, so child car seats for infants should be rear-facing until 40 pounds. We should follow guidelines of car seats to avoid injuries. And we should stop focusing on age and milestones and focus more on height and weight. When you're talking about someone's health and fitness, you don't base it as much on their age as you do on their height and weight with how much they should weigh. So that's what we should do with children. We should base their safety on their height and weight, not on how old they are. So there's a lot of pros and cons to having your child rear-facing. Let's talk about those. Pros of having your child rear-facing would be safety. You've got the spinal cord protection, their neck is protected, and you have the even distribution during a crash. And I've watched the tests of the crash forward-facing versus rear-facing. It makes me hurt. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a car accident before, but it's not fun. So I can't imagine a child that's less than 40 pounds having their neck jolted like that. It's really scary. And I can speak because my child is like 29 pounds and he's 16 months old. And nowhere near ready to face forward, in my opinion. But rear-facing does come with a few disadvantages, such as the interaction you have with your child. But let's face it, you're driving, you shouldn't be interacting with your child too much. And yes, I'm guilty of it. I've got the mirror that hangs in the back seat, and I play peekaboo while I'm driving, and I probably shouldn't do it. But I think if he was forward-facing, he'd be an even bigger distraction for me. You've also got disruptive children. So if you've already got older children that face forward and they have whether they have a harness, seatbelt, or they're in a booster seat, you have rear-facing children who might get jealous of that and want to face forward because who doesn't want to be like their big brother and big sister? But there's ways to go around that, and you wouldn't want to compromise safety just so your child was less disruptive while you're driving. There's ways to fix it. Then there's the ease of buckling. I won't lie. When I put my 29-pound baby in the back seat and I have to maneuver him into his car seat so he can rear face, it's a little complicated. But is it worth him getting severely injured if I was in a car accident tomorrow? No, it's not. Okay, so I would like to share a story with you about Joel, my apologies, his name's Joel. He was an 18-month-old little boy, and he weighs 33 pounds. He was in a car accident with his mom. He was forward-facing, well above the 20-pound law requirement, so it's okay, right? Parents don't know. Pediatricians don't share things with you about the dangers of having your child forward-facing too soon. And yes, the law says 20 pounds is fine, but it's not the safest thing for your children. When Joel was in his accident, his neck was broken. He went through multiple surgeries, and it was a miracle that he lived. He also had to do a long year of very extensive physical therapy to regain the use of his hands and legs properly. And I attached a YouTube video which has the crash dummy examples to show the difference when the dummy child in the car seat hit on impact. He was extremely launched forward and then jerked back into his car seat. When the rear-facing car seat was hit on impact, the child slid up in his seat a little bit, but you could tell that he wasn't jerked or jumbled up in any way, and it looked a lot more comfortable. If you're going to be in a car accident, there's nothing comfortable about it, but knowing that your child's neck isn't being shaken all about is much more comforting. So I believe that in order for our children's safety, we should change the car seat ratings to 40 pounds, which is what, if you see any convertible car seat in the store, the maximum weight is 35 to 40 pounds, depending on the car seat you buy. So if you buy a car seat that can hold your child from 5 pounds to 40 pounds, rear facing, and then it can turn around, you're saving yourself money, and you're saving yourself heartache of having your child in pain, and you're saving your child pain. That, or you could even lose your child. There's multiple stories of children losing their lives, and I can't imagine being a parent and being so upset knowing that I wasn't educated enough to know what was safer for my child. So I would like to thank you for your time, and when you are picking out a car seat for your child, please take in mind everything I've said and do what's best for you and your child. Thank you.